Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm Mark, aka Movie Pancake Boy, and this is my second review of the TV show Angel, which, if you know, is spun off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Angel came to be because Joss Whedon figured out how much he liked David Boreanaz's acting during the second season of Buffy, when he had to play the evil Angel. So, which, as you know, is named Angelus. So the show, some people argue that it was a better show than Buffy, mostly because of its darker tone. And I can pretty much disagree. I can pretty much agree that the show was a lot more mature, and it was better. However, each season of Buffy presented a story with a clear beginning, middle, and end, while Angel always seemed to end in a cliffhanger. And while this fits the show's theme of the battle against evil being a never-ending one, it means that it's an annoying recurrence throughout the series, but that said, it is still a great show and a magnificent companion to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So let's dive straight into the spin-off with the origins of Angel. So Angel was born in the 16th century, I think, I'm not too sure. But 27 years into an unremarkable life, he's thrown out of a bar for fighting. There, a beautiful, seductive woman named Darla lures him into an alley and sires him, which means she makes him a vampire. But he doesn't become just any vampire. He becomes the most vicious, evil vampire to ever stalk the earth, Angelus. Angelus is universally known as the demon with the face of an angel, or the one with the angelic face, because of his physical appeal. And most vampires kill to feed, but Angelus would torture his victims both physically and psychologically before killing them, sometimes without even feeding. But he made a mistake after 100 years when he raped and murdered a girl from a gypsy clan. The gypsies sought revenge for this frightful crime, thus they placed the most cruel of curses upon Angelus. They gave him back his soul. You see, a vampire does the horrible things that it does because it has no soul. Therefore, they cannot feel remorse or guilt. But now that Angelus had his soul again, he could feel the weight of every atrocity he ever committed. So he skulks about for another 100 years or so, and he falls off the wagon in the 70s during a hold-up at a donut shop. He drinks the clerk's blood after he dies. And then he spends the next 80 years in mere solitude, nearly completely hungry and only feeding on rats. That's until Whistler, a half-demon employed by the powers that be to even the balance between good and evil, shows up and gives him a chance to be someone new, a chance to be Angel, by teaming up with the current Slayer. Now, so Whistler takes him to Los Angeles, which coincidentally he will end up back in Los Angeles years later when he gets his own show. And he shows him Buffy just before she's called. And he falls in love with her instantly. And he says to Whistler, okay, give me the advice, train me, I want to help her, I want to become someone. So he's introduced in season 1 of Buffy, at least for the first 7 episodes anyway, as just the handsome, mysterious loner guy. But then his true secret identity is revealed to Buffy after they share their first kiss. And at this point, his ex Dana comes back and tries to convince him to kill people. And she attacks Buffy's mother and thrusts her bleeding body into Angel's arms. And Buffy walks in at that moment and she immediately assumes it was Angel that attacked her. So she faces off with Angel and Dana, and Angel actually chooses to stake Dana in order to protect Buffy. And after that, the pair fall in love, and it turns into this very romantic journey for the pair of them, thus leading them to have sex on her 17th birthday. But Gypsies, they pulled a funny on him. For if he ever experiences a moment of true happiness, if his soul is ever at peace, any moment of pleasure with the person that he loves will bring Angelus back. Now, I can't say whether Angel knew that would happen. The only thing I can think of is that the Gypsies never read him the fine print. But if he ever has a moment of true happiness, the curse will be lifted and he will reverse to the sadistic and psychotic Angelus. And his blood-soaked rampage throughout the second season of Buffy is one of the best storylines in the history of the show, as well as my personal favourite. And when he gets his soul back for the second time, he attempts to reform himself again, but with the knowledge he can never truly be with Buffy without risking the return of his vile alter ego. Angel leaves for Los Angeles. So when he gets to LA, he's cut off. He lives alone. Until, that is, he meets Doyle, a half-demon with visions. Courtesy of the powers that be. So these visions typically alert Doyle to when someone's in trouble or of evil things to come. And his latest vision tells him to recruit Angel as the champion of the people. So, he sends Angel on his first mission, which goes horribly wrong, because the girl he's trying to save is actually killed. But he catches up with the vampire and manages to kill it. And then, not shortly before this, Cordelia Chase, who was also a character on Buffy, makes a reappearance and convinces Angel to legitimise his quest for redemption through starting a business. Now, I'm just going to tell you straight, Cordelia suggested this. Angel takes it, nonetheless. And this is where you meet his first potential love interest for the series, Kate Lockley, played by Elizabeth Rom. Now, Kate is a NAPD police officer. So she takes after her father, but she's distrusting, she has been hurt, she doesn't quite know how to communicate with people. And the first episode that she ever appears in the first season, which was called Lonely Hearts, really outlines that. And it seems I warmed to Kate the minute she found out who, or rather what, Angel was, and threatened his life, basically. Because she's not seeing the possibility of a vampire with a soul. What she is seeing is, you're a monster, there are monsters in the world, you have forced me to see that fact. I am angry at you for that. I am angry at you because of what you are. I am angry at you because of your past, which she discovers on her own. And I'm angry at you because I can't really date you now. But anyway, eventually... Oh, sorry, I need to talk about this episode. There will be some spoilers, but this is my personal favourite. Buffy goes to LA to visit him, and they run into a demon. And this demon, Amora demon, it's called, It has regeneration abilities, so some of its blood mixes with Angel and is actually made human again. So him and Buffy can have a normal human love. They can, he got to see himself in the mirror. He got to eat food, and he managed to make love to Buffy without losing his soul. But he finds out that if he stays human, Buffy will die sooner. So he goes to the powers that be and asks them, hey, make me a vampire again. Now, as if this wasn't tragic enough, Doyle dies shortly after this. For reasons I don't want to give away, if you haven't watched the series, stop the video here. But this is where we get the next addition to Angel Investigations, Wesley Wyndam-Pryce, played by Alexis Denisov. Wesley, as you know, was the Watcher brought in to replace Giles in season 3 of Buffy after he was fired for incompetence. And Wesley was just a ponce, basically. And you think, excuse me, you think when he arrives in Angel that he's undergone a transformation, but he hasn't. He's still the same nerdy guy, but that doesn't bother Angel. Angel invites him to join the team. And at the end of season 1, Angel discovers a prophecy about the vampire with a soul. And at first, they think it means he will die. But what it actually means is that he will live. It's the word Shanshu, which means to die, but also to live. So it means if he continues atoning for his sins, the vampire side of him might die, but the human side of him will live. All the while, Wolfram and Hart, an evil law firm, I apologise if that sounds redundant, has resurrected his old lover, Dara, to basically drive Angel crazy. So season 2 opens with there's been a massive explosion of Angel's other office, and their offices are now Cordelia's apartment. And here we get a new addition, 2 new additions actually, to the Angel Investigations team. First we have Charles Gunn, his name, not his street tag, who is a self-taught vampire hunter, who kind of is swayed when Angel helps him in some way, which once again I don't want to give away. And then we have the host, or Lorne, who runs a demon karaoke bar.